Anti-terror police sweeping in, several injuries reported, a suspect under arrest, the unfolding scene in Germany. Also breaking tonight behind closed doors, the FBI director on Capitol Hill late today answering questions. Was Trump Tower wiretapped before the election? What our team has learned so far. Bracing for a major storm tonight, the morning commute, rain, ice, snow, after high winds already turned deadly, and a ground stop for a time at a New York airport. The new and emotional plea tonight, a grandfather coming forward after two teens are killed in the woods, one of them capturing evidence on her smartphone in the moments before. And the hostage standoff inside a bank. New video tonight as the customers make a run for it, and the moment police make their move.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Thursday night, and we are following a developing story coming in tonight. Police and special forces moving in after an axe attack at a busy and crowded train station in Germany. These cell phone images coming in from inside that station tonight amid reports of a man swinging an axe, several people injured in the attack. Authorities on the scene at this hour, at least one suspect is under arrest. ABC's Alex Marquardt leading us off with the images coming in now.
Special police forces tonight on the scene of the attack at one of Germany's biggest train stations, investigating after 5 people were wounded, one seriously, by an axe-wielding attacker, according to the police. This video of the immediate aftermath, trails of blood on the floor, shocked commuters huddled over the wounded. The attack taking place around 9 p.m. No one was killed. The station was shut down, cordoned off by police, emergency vehicles on the scene as helicopters hovered overhead. Passenger Bruno Macedo was on a train at the time and listening to reports.
So we're not stopping at the station. The station is closed.
A short time later, police confirming one arrest was made. The identity and motive of the attacker still unknown. Dozens of officers searched the train station and nearby businesses for possibly additional suspects. Across Europe, governments are in a heightened state of alert after a number of terror attacks over the past 2 years. Recently, attackers have resorted to cruder methods, like the December attack in Berlin, when a truck drove into a Christmas crowd, killing 12. Last summer, ISIS claimed responsibility after an Afghan teen carried out an axe attack on a train elsewhere in Germany.
And Alex Marquardt joined us live overseas tonight. And Alex, no claim of responsibility and no word on a motive tonight?
No claim of responsibility, David. Just a short time ago, the police put out a statement saying the suspect is in the hospital after jumping off an overpass near the station, which is still being searched. Police also still trying to determine whether or not this was terror-related. David? Alex
Marquardt leading us off tonight. Alex, thank you. Meantime, there is a developing headline here at home tonight. A late-day visit to Capitol Hill by the director of the FBI, who is under mounting pressure from key lawmakers who want to know, is there any evidence at all that President Obama wiretapped Trump Tower before the election, as President Trump has claimed? Director James Comey meeting with lawmakers behind closed doors. Sources telling ABC News tonight that Comey was summoned to discuss several national security issues, including President Trump's bombshell claim. ABC's Mary Bruce on Capitol Hill with what she's learned so far.
FBI Director James Comey arriving on Capitol Hill today, summoned to brief key lawmakers on Russia's meddling in the election and answer questions about President Trump's explosive charge that President Obama had Trump Tower wiretapped during the campaign. It's now been 5 days since Trump tweeted, "This is Nixon Watergate," attacking his predecessor as a bad or sick guy.
I think that the President of the United States, who has stated categorically that Trump Tower was wiretapped, that he should come forward with the information that led him to that conclusion.
Less than 24 hours ago, 2 senators sent a letter to the Justice Department demanding the FBI produce any evidence that might exist. Late today on Capitol Hill, leaders seen rushing into a classified briefing. When reporters asked Democratic Senator Mark Warner if he'd heard any evidence to back up the president's claim, Warner's response, "I've seen no evidence." Comey himself today saying nothing.
The evidence that President Obama ordered a wiretap of Trump Tower.
Privately, the FBI director has unsuccessfully implored the Justice Department to refute the president's claims. But in an interview with ABC News, the director of national intelligence during the campaign was blunt.
There was no wiretap against Trump Tower during the campaign. conducted by any part of the national intelligence community.
President Obama all smiles at a recent visit to a Washington museum, but privately his aides say he's irritated by Trump's accusation. And he may not be the only one. White House officials have now been pressed again and again on whether they agree with the president. The vice president sitting down for a local interview to talk health care, but confronted with questions about the alleged wiretapping.
Yes or no? Do you believe that President Obama did that?
Well, what I can say is that the president and our administration are very confident that the congressional committees in the House and Senate that are examining issues surrounding the last election, the run-up to the last election, will do that in a thorough and equitable way.
And so Mary Bruce with us live on Capitol Hill tonight. Mary, you reported there that Senator Warner, after his meeting with Comey, said, quote, "I have seen no evidence," but we still don't know what Comey was asked and how much he offered on this wiretapping claim.
That's right, David. The second of these two meetings with the director just ended moments ago. These are closed-door briefings with highly sensitive classified material. But we do know Comey has been asking the Justice Department to refute the president's claims. David.
Mary Bruce live on Capitol Hill again tonight. Meantime, the hunt is on this evening for the CIA leaker who turned over to WikiLeaks the playbook, how the CIA is able to break into phones, TVs, computers. And tonight, the founder of WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, who then revealed it all to the world with a message about the CIA. And the surprising visit, the person who visited the embassy today where Julian Assange delivered that message. Here's ABC's chief investigative correspondent Brian Ross back on the case tonight.
It was a supremely arrogant Julian Assange today who crowed about the latest devastating leak of some of the CIA's most closely held secrets.
This is a historic act of devastating incompetence. To have created such an arsenal and stored it all in one place and not secured it.
The 8,700 pages of leaked documents reveal how the CIA can remotely turn iPhones, iPads, even Samsung TVs into secret listening devices. Assange said today he would provide manufacturers with the CIA's technical details.
So that fixes can be developed and pushed out so people can be secured.
It was only a few months ago that Donald Trump, as a candidate, was praising WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks, I love WikiLeaks.
It's been amazing what's coming out on WikiLeaks.
This WikiLeaks is like a treasure trove.
Statements that still outrage the American intelligence community.
Julian Assange is not our friend. He only pushes out the door American secrets.
Today, the White House press secretary said Mr. Trump was concerned about the CIA's security.
Obviously, he believes that the systems at the CIA are outdated and need to be updated.
Adding to the intrigue, BuzzFeed reported today that one of the president's closest political allies in Britain, Nigel Farage, spent 40 minutes this morning at the Ecuadorian embassy where Assange has sought asylum. Farage, who campaigned with Trump and met with him at Trump Tower, shares the president's affection for Russian President Putin. And it was just 2 weeks ago that Farage posted this picture dining with President Trump at his hotel in Washington.
All right, Brian Ross back with us here tonight. And Brian, the White House said today that they were unaware of this meeting between Farage and Assange. Right. In the meantime, the FBI is on the hunt for whoever might be responsible.
Well, that's right, David. The FBI says it's now narrowed the leak down to people who had special access to a secret network used only by American spies. And at this point, there's no indication the leak was done by Russia or any other foreign government, David.
Right. Brian Ross and your team on this again tonight. Thank you. We are following other news this evening and next tonight. Much of this country bracing for a major storm tonight. It could be a very difficult morning commute in much of the east. Already tonight, wind gusts more than 50 miles an hour, sparking power lines right there in Rocky Hill, Connecticut. Winter alerts from Ohio to Massachusetts. Here's ABC's Lindsay Janis.
Tonight, severe storms moving through the heartland as another system wreaks havoc from the Great Lakes to the northeast. A falling traffic light near Buffalo, New York. A security camera capturing a terrifying moment when Brittany Gardner and her daughter arrive home near Cleveland. You can hear the wind. Gusts up to 60 miles per hour in the area when this happens. Daughter Madison holding on for dear life. Mom racing to her. Madison wasn't hurt. In Detroit, an arrest in the wind-whipped apartment fire that killed 5. Authorities now believe it was arson. hundreds of thousands in the area without power. 24 hours after that plane carrying Michigan's basketball team skidded off the runway, wind forcing a ground stop at LaGuardia Airport.
And David, that ground stop here at LaGuardia causing hundreds of delays. The wind is expected to cause problems into the night, and then snow in the forecast. David?
Lindsay Jennings live at LaGuardia for us. Lindsay, thank you. Meteorologist Rob Marciano live along the West Side Highway here in New York tonight as well. He's tracking the storm. Hey, Rob.
Hi, David. Those winds now have gone northerly, so the record high temperatures today going to be a distant memory. Cold air is moving in and it's going to stay here. A big pattern change. And over the next week, next 5 days, as a matter of fact, we've got 3 chances of seeing snow across the east. The first one comes tonight with our developing system across the heartland. Some severe storms breaking out across Missouri and Paducah, Kentucky. Look for snow in Pittsburgh tonight. Then by tomorrow morning, a messy commute across the New York metro area, throughout the Hartford and through Boston as well. But it gets out of here quickly. But 3 to 5 inches of snow expected to fall in a wide swath from State College all the way to Plymouth. And then more snow coming next week. It looks like wild swings of March for sure.
Winter isn't over yet. Rob Marciano, thanks again tonight. Next this evening, President Trump and his book, The Art of the Deal, tonight putting that art form to the test, giving the hard sell behind the scenes to the Republican plan to replace Obamacare now and tweeting that health care is coming along great. But he does face a divided Republican Party on this, and Democrats who now argue millions will lose their coverage. Here's ABC's chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl.
President Trump today declared he is well on his way to keeping a top campaign promise, repealing and replacing Obamacare. Despite what you hear in the press, he tweeted, "Healthcare is coming along great. We are talking to many groups, and it will end in a beautiful picture." It's Paul Ryan the White House is relying on to sell the details of the plan. The speaker appearing today with sleeves rolled up and a complex PowerPoint presentation.
This is the closest we will ever get to repealing and replacing Obamacare. The time is here, the time is now. This is the moment. And this is the closest this will ever happen.
But the plan is facing mounting opposition. The American Medical Association and the American Hospital Association have both come out against it. One analysis projects up to 10 million fewer Americans would have health insurance. And some prominent conservatives are lining up against it too, including Obamacare critic Senator Tom Cotton, who tweeted this morning, "To my friends in the House, pause, start over, get it right. Don't get it fast." It comes after Senator Cotton heard from his constituents worried about losing their coverage.
Is there a risk that this bill, as it stands now, could actually make it worse?
I'm afraid that it could make it worse in some ways, that insurance rates would continue to go up and that Americans would have even less control and less choice over their health care system.
How does the White House respond to Senator Cotton?
He believes that this bill might actually make things worse than the current Obamacare. What do you say to Senator Cotton?
I respectfully disagree, and I think that I hope we have an opportunity for the team to continue to not only talk to him about what we're trying to do and how we're trying to do it, but that we'd love to hear his ideas. I mean, this isn't, as I mentioned the last couple of days, we're not jamming this down people's throat.
John Karl with us live from the White House again tonight. And John, we saw House Speaker Paul Ryan there in your report out front today making the case for the Republican plan to replace Obamacare. When do we expect to see President Trump and a major sort of public push from him?
We're told the president will hit the road next week. We know of at least one campaign-style event where the White House says he will be pushing for this bill. But I've got to tell you, David, the president has already been working very hard behind the scenes to convince members of Congress. His schedule has been packed with individual lawmakers and the leaders of conservative groups, many of whom have been quite critical of the bill, trying to convince them one at a time.
John Karl live at the White House. John, thank you. We turn now to new comments tonight causing controversy from the head of the Environmental Protection Agency. EPA Administrator Scott Pruitt directly challenging the widely held belief that carbon dioxide from human activity is a major cause of climate change, disputing the consensus of most scientists around the world and the EPA itself under several administrations now.
So no, I would not agree that it's a primary contributor to the global warming that we see.
Okay. All right.
We don't.
The EPA's own website says that, quote, carbon dioxide is the primary greenhouse gas that is contributing to recent climate change. There is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Thursday. The hostage situation inside a bank. New video tonight showing the dramatic scene as it unfolds. Customers decided to make a run for it, and the moment the SWAT teams there decide to move in. Also, the new headline tonight in the murder mystery involving 2 teenage girls who police believe recorded their killer on a smartphone. And take a look at this tonight. Even with that storm on the horizon overnight, this spectacular image from somewhere in the country tonight, and it might be one for the ages when we come back.
I was wondering if an electric toothbrush really cleans better than a manual, and my hygienist says it does, but they're not all the same. Turns out they're really different. Who knew? I had no idea. So she said look for one that's shaped like a dental tool with a round brush head.
Go Pro with Oral-B. Oral-B's rounded brush head surrounds each tooth to gently remove more plaque. And Oral-B Cross Action is clinically proven to remove more plaque than Sonicare Diamond Clean.
My mouth feels